Hi, fourth grade. It's Miss Wilson again. I'm coming to you today with our math lesson. So, our last video, we learned about prime numbers and divisibility. So, today we're going to use what we learned our last video to do a worksheet together. So, today we're going to be factoring numbers between 4 and 50. And as we learned our last video, and we remember that factors are the two integers, that's that vocabulary word from the last video, integers, which just means numbers, the two numbers that are multiplied to get the product. So this will be the time where you pause the video to get you a piece of paper and a pencil if you don't have those. So I'm okay with you pausing it here. All right, hopefully you're back now. So we're going to start doing our first worksheet together. So as you see, I have a worksheet doing exactly what our objective today was, factoring numbers between 4 and 50. Now underneath it, I have scratch paper where I'm actually going to be using the T-chart to list my factors. Okay? So, as always, make sure your name is on your paper. All right, so our first one is list the factors for each number. Number 1 is 28. So, I'm going to go to my scratch paper, and I'm going to make me a T-chart, okay? Which is basically just a T. We use it in math, we use it in ELA. So, when we use it in math, we're going to use it to label our factors. So at the top, I'm going to put my number that I'm using, 28. And then right where my T comes together, I'm going to put my multiplication sign. Because what I'm saying is the factor on this side times the factor on this side will give me 28. So we always start with number 1. So 1 times what will give me 28? 28. So 1 times 28 is 28. Okay, then I'm going to go to my next number. So one thing that I like to do, I like to do my numbers in order to ensure that I'm not missing a number. So we learned our divisibility for 2 in our last video. And if you don't remember the rule, we're going to go over the rule. So the rule is, in order for the number to be divisible or divided by 2 evenly, in the 1 spot, I must have a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Now, as I look at 28, what's in our 1 spot? Yes, an 8. So 28 has to be divisible by 2. So I'm going to divide 28 by 2. How many groups of 2 do I have in 2? I have 1. And then how many groups of 2 do I have in 8? 4. So I'm saying 2 times 14 is 28. So let's check those numbers. Okay, good job. So back on my side of my T chart, I did 1, 2. What number do you think I'm going to do next? 3. Okay. So 3 times what will give me 28? So let's see. I know 3 times 3. Oh, let me use my divisibility rule. So my divisibility rule for 3 is the sum of my 2 digits. If it's divisible by 3, I know that the number is divisible by 3. So 2 plus 8 equals 10. Can I divide 10 equally by 3? No. So that cannot be a factor of 28. So my next number will be 4. So 4 times what will give me 28? 4 times 7 is 28. So good job. Then what number you think I'm going to do next? 5. Okay, so I have divisibility rules for 5. In order to be divided equally by 5, in the 1 spot, I should have what 2 numbers? Correct. 0 and 5. What do I have in my one spot? 8. So it can't be divisible by 5. Okay? So my next number is 6. 6 times what will give me 28? So let's see. 6 times 4 is 24. And 6 times 5 is 30. So can I divide 28 by 6 evenly? No. So my next number will be what? 7. But I've already used 7. So that tells me once I have a repeat of numbers, I'm done. Okay? So on my worksheet, I'm going to write my numbers in order. So I'm going to go down and then back up. So my first number is 1. And then what? 2. Is 3 my next number? No, because I have a line through it because 28 is not divide. You 3 is not a factor of 28. Okay, so my next number will be 4. So that's all my numbers here. And then I'm going to go back up this way. So I'm going to start with 7, 14, and 28. So those are my factors of 28. So on the side, I'm going to write whether or not this number is prime, which means it only has 2 factors, or it's composite, which means it has more than 2 factors. So 28 is what? Prime or composite? Yes, composite. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Now I'm gonna go back to my stretch paper and I'm gonna start me a T-chart for number 2. And number 2 number is 9. So I'm gonna make my T. 9 is at the top. I'm gonna put my multiplication sign right where my line is going vertical up and down. And I'm gonna start with 1. So 1 times what will give me 9? 9. Then I'm gonna go to 2. So let's look at 9. Based on our rules, again, what will have to be in the 1 spot in order for 2 to be divisible by 2? 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Is 9 any of those numbers? No. So it cannot be divisible by 2. Then my next number is what? 3. 3 times what will give me 9? So I can't do the sum here because I'm not adding anything. But I know 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now there go my repeat of numbers. When I have a repeat of numbers, that's telling me that I'm what? Done. Correct. So I'm going to pull my worksheet back over and I'm going to start down one side of my T and come back up the other side of my T because they want my numbers to be in order. So my first factor of 9, put it down so you can see it. My first factor of 9 is 1. Then I have 3. Now, I'm going to come back up the other side, but I don't have to repeat this 3 because I've already had a factor of 3. Now, when I do factorization, I will have to repeat it, but we're not doing factorization. We're just listing the factors. Then my next number will be 9. Good job. All right. So number 3 says 4. So let's use this time to make a T chart and do the number 4. So what number would I start with? 1. I always start with 1. 1 times what will give me 4? 4. Then my next number will be what? 2. So we see that in our 1 spot we have a 4. So this must be divisible by 2. 2 times what is 4? 2. Look how we have the repeat of our numbers. So when I have a repeat of the number, that tells me that I'm what? Done. Okay? So we now write our factors. And I know you don't have a worksheet, but on the side of your T-chart, you just write your factors for me. So that's going to be 1, 2. Now I'm not going to write 2 again because we're not writing the repeats. And then 4. Now, let's go back to number 2 because we didn't write whether or not this number was prime or composite. So, again, what is our definition of prime? Yes, it only has 2 factors. So, how many factors does 9 have? 3. So, can this be prime? No. That means it's composite. So, let's go back to number 3 where we have 1, 2, and 4. Is this prime or composite? Composite. Good job. Okay. So now we're going to do the number 33. Okay. So I got to move my paper over some because we've been working. All right. So we're going to make our T chart. 33. I'm going to write my multiplication. So I'm going to let you start. I'm going to let you start. Go ahead and do your first one. Then I'll catch up with you. So hopefully you started with 1 and you said 1 times 33 is 33. Okay, so our next number will be what? 2. Now, where do we need to look to see if this number is divisible by 2? In the 1 spot. So what numbers are we looking for? 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Is that what's in our 1 spot? No. So that means it cannot be divisible, which means we can divide it equally even. No remainder, nothing left over. We cannot. So our next number would be what? 3. Okay, so what's our rule again for 3? Yes, add the 2 numbers. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Now, can we divide 6 equally by 3? Yes. So that means that this number has to be divisible by 3. So let's see. How many groups of 3 do I have in 3? 1. How many groups of 3 do I have in 3? 1. Or I could have said 3 times what is 33? Yes, we know our 11 timetable. So we would have said 3 times 11. Okay? So my next number will be what? 4. So 4 times what will give me 33? So I'm doing my 4s in my head. 4 times 8 is 32. And 4 times 9 is 36. So 4 times nothing is 33. So that's not a factor. So my next number is 5. And again, I'm looking back at my 1 spot. If this is divisible by 5, what 2 numbers are my options? Correct. 0 and 5. That was in my 1 spot? No. So 5 cannot be a factor. Then I just keep going. 6. So I hope you said 6 times 5 is 30, and 6 times 6 is 36. So 6 can't be a factor. Okay? Then guess what's next? 7. So again, 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. So 7 can't be a factor. 8. 8 times 4 is 32. And 8 times 5 is 40. So 8 can't be a factor. So we go to 9. Now remember 9 and 3 has the exact same divisibility rule. So again, we add 3 plus 3 gives us 6. Now, can 6 be divided by 9 equally? No. So I know 9 is not a factor. Then we go to 10, because I haven't had a repeat yet. We go to 10. The divisibility rule for 10 is, what has to be in my 1 spot? A 0. So is 10 a factor? No. Then we go to 11. Oh, I've written 11 somewhere already. So here's my repeat. So when I have a repeat, I know I'm what? Done. Okay? So I'm going to write my factors. So I'm going to go down my left side of my paper first. So I have the factors 1, 3, then back up my left side, and that's 11 and 33. So now I have to write whether this is what? Prime or what? Composite. So composite means that it has more than 2 factors. And I have 4 factors, so this number must be composite. All right. So we're going to stop at number 6, where you can have time to write down the other ones, and you can do it at home. And at the end of the video, after I say my goodbye, I will have the answer sheet where you can check your answers. But let's go ahead and do number 5 together. So number 5, our number is 6. So I'm going to make my T chart. At the top of my T chart, I'm going to put 6 times. Then I'm going to start at 1. I'm going to give you time to start your T chart. All right. So I know you definitely had your 1 down. Then our next one is 2. Yes, 2 and 3. Then our next one is 3. Oh, look at that repeat. So repeat tells us that we're done. So I'm going to pull my worksheet back over, and I'm going to write my factors for 6. 1, 2, 3, and 6. Then we're going to say that is what? Composite, because I have more than 2 factors. Okay? So we're going to do number 6 together, and that number is 7. Gonna put my multiplication. I'm gonna start with 1 and 7, 2 and we know we're looking for what number to be in the 1 spot? 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. That's not the number. 2 is not a factor. So our next number will be 3. You're right. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. So 7 is not. 3 is not a factor of 7. And we go to 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 cannot be a factor. 5, we know in order for it to be divisible by 5, what 2 numbers do we have to have in the 1 spot? 0 and 5. Not divisible by 5. Then we'll go 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So 6 cannot be a factor. And our next number is 7. Oh, look at that repeat. So when I see a repeat, I know I'm done. So what are our factors of 7? 1 and 7. I only have 2 factors, so that tells me that this number is prime. Yes. Okay, so on your paper, write out these numbers: 5, 17, 12, 26, 19, and 46. Work those problems out on your own. So let's pause the video and work out those problems on your own. Okay, so hopefully we're back. You worked out your problems. You paused it long enough to work out your problems. Okay, so this is our answer key for number 7 to number 12. And on the side, I'm gonna write whether or not it's prime or composite, because I added that on just for a little rigor, where we're combining our last lesson and this lesson, because of course we have to remember the things that we learned and then take it up a notch. So you can definitely pause at this point so you can check your answers and figure out what you knew. Now, if it was something in here that you didn't understand, please go back, rewind this video where we went over the visibility. Go back to our last video where we went over prime and disability. I enjoyed this so much. I hope you enjoyed it. You have work to do at home. You can also go online. There's a lot of games with factors. There's a lot of games with prime numbers. Okay, see you next time.